And good evening, and thank you for joining us here on this election night in the district. I'm Josh Chapin. Scott Thuman has the night off.
I'm Michelle Marsh. It is a new era in the District of Columbia as multiple races are being contested across the city, with everything from D.C. council seats to a seat in Congress up for grabs.
But the biggest race might just be the one to succeed Mayor Muriel Bowser as the mayor of this city. And that race is one of the many things that we're doing for the first time. The other thing is using ranked choice voting.
So what does that mean for you at home? Well, it means that the returns we see tonight will reflect only the first round of tabulation. So it could be days before we know who the final official winner is.
Now, there are 7 candidates vying for D.C. Mayor: Kenyon McDuffie, Janice Lewis-George, Gary Goodweather, Rinnie Sempeth.
And Ernest Johnson, Hope Solomon, and Vincent Orange. The winner will face independent challengers. There are no Republican candidates seeking the party's nomination for mayor of D.C.
Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley has been tracking the race all evening. She joins us live now from Janice Lewis-George campaign party at the Howard Theater. Felicia, take us into the mood there, the atmosphere like there tonight.
I'm going to take you and let you listen to the mood right now. This is Councilwoman Janice Lewis-George speaking to her crowd and in an unofficial way accepting what she feels is an already accomplished night.
I am deeply proud that so many of our partners in public service chose to be a part of this movement. I thank you to my colleagues and my partners. Thank you to every single member of our campaign team. This was the most dedicated campaign D.C. has ever seen. Tonight belongs to you. And thank you a million times over to my amazing family and friends. To my husband, Kyle. To my son, Piers. To my mom, Diane. To my sisters and my brothers.
You can hear Councilwoman Janice Lewis-George essentially thanking all of her supporters. She said that what tonight means, and from the numbers her and her team are seeing, she says that the people of D.C. have made their choice. People of D.C. have made the call on who they want to represent them as the next mayor of Washington, D.C. Now, as we know, the official numbers still won't be in for some days, but they said from the first round that they're seeing, she's feeling extremely confident that this may be hers. Of course, you can be updated, but for now, reporting live from the Howard Theater, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like a victory speech, but important to point out that we don't have the official returns just yet. Now, another one of the frontrunners in the mayor's race is Kenyon McDuffie, a city councilman for more than 10 years who is holding his campaign party at the Park at 14th in Northwest D.C.
That is where our Tom Rousey is right now. Tom, what's the mood like there? What is the mood there like now?
Well, I think it's just dawning on some folks that he's behind in those results that were released. The crowd has thinned out a little over the last half hour or so, but not everyone seems to realize that these results are out, these initial ones at least, and he is behind. So this is his election night party. I have not seen the candidate since the results were released, but here's video from earlier of when he came. Now, it is important to point out at the time he spoke, it was well after the polls closed, but there weren't any results in at all yet at that time. So he referenced that it would be potentially a long night or a long process when he spoke to his supporters here at the Park at 14th.
And tonight, the votes are being counted, and ranked choice votes and ballots are being tabulated as we speak. The reality is it's going to be a while before we know the results of this election. And I know you all love that, but it's going to be a little while.
All right, and back out here live again. We have not seen McDuffie since those initial results came out. Again, some folks at this party just kind of starting to learn what they were. They all came down at once. A lot of folks started looking at their phones, but some folks, I think, don't even realize yet what those initial results are here at the Kenyon McDuffie party. We will be looking for the candidate to see if he has anything else to say now that these initial results have come out. But for now, reporting live in Northwest D.C., Tom Rousey, 7 News.
Initial results, Tom, very important to stress that. All right, there will be a new D.C. delegate for the first time in more than 3 decades.
5 Democrats are vying to take over for Eleanor Holmes Norton. Kinney Zalesny, Robert White, Trent Holbrook, Brooke Pinto, and Greg Yatsko.
And one of those Democrats will take on Denise Rosado, who ran unopposed on the Republican ticket. We're going to go now to Robert White's campaign party. White just stepped to the stage. Let's take a listen.
I will not yield. The fight for families drowning in the cost of housing, groceries, child care, and health care. I will not yield in the fight for workers who did everything right but lie awake at night wondering how it's all going to work. I will not yield for the people who have spent their lives waiting for a turn that never seems to come, because our turn will never come unless we demand it. Eleanor Holmes Norton understood that. The generations before us understood that. And before this night is over, I hope that every Washingtonian understands it too. We will not yield. I come from a family that knows what it means to wait our turn. 5 generations of Washingtonians who had so little but called this city home proudly. My grandfather fought in Korea.
All right, you are listening to early remarks from Robert White there, and Brooke Pinto's campaign party just cleared out tonight at the Eaton Hotel in Northwest. Of course, we don't know how the delegate race will turn out just yet, but we will update you as soon as those results come in. In the meantime, we caught up with the Pinto camp tonight and asked her how she's feeling ahead of the first round of tabulations.
I'm so grateful that we have such an engaged community here in Washington, and people who know that their vote is our civic, not just obligation, but blessing that we get to exercise to decide who leads our city. And so I hope voters make that choice, that is me as our congressional delegate. But either way, I'm going to continue doing what I've done my whole career, which is serve our incredible residents.
And as we told you, this is the first year of ranked choice voting in D.C. The voters overwhelmingly approved to change, which can be a little confusing for first-time voters, for all of us voting in D.C.
That's right. In races with 3 or more on the ballot, candidates will need more than 50% of the vote to win, which means unless it's a landslide, we likely won't know who wins the big races tonight.
Our Rebecca Turco joins us live from the Board of Elections. Rebecca, there was a bit of a delay in releasing the first round of votes tonight, so what can we expect now?
Yeah, well, officially the election results won't be certified for a few weeks, but there are some ranked choice categories that have come out with the initial preliminary results released tonight, where there's a bit more of a landslide, if you will, with a candidate clearly in the lead so far. But remember, this is just the first round of results being released, and it's the first choice votes from mail-in ballots received and processed up until today, from early voting in person, and also from a significant portion of Election Day votes. We are expecting another round of votes to be added to these numbers a little bit later tonight. Now, remember, as mentioned, if no candidate reaches a majority of more than 50%, the candidate with the fewest votes is eliminated, and those votes transfer to each voter's next ranked candidate. And this process goes on till someone reaches that majority threshold. I'm told there's a computer program that does the work of tallying. And because votes are moved around from whoever's in last place, the chair of the Board of Elections explains tonight's really too early to redistribute those votes, while they're, of course, still waiting on mail ballots.
Even if someone's at like 55%, the remaining votes that are counted might tip the balance back, below to 49%. We just don't know. So obviously, the farther ahead they are over the 50-yard line, the more comfort there would be for that candidate.
And the Board of Elections expects to release round-by-round interim results in the coming days. We are live from the Board of Elections. Rebecca Turco, 7 News.
Rebecca, thank you. We now have some more on the latest returns and some other major races that we're following. Let's check in with Jasmine Stiles over at the Alert Desk. Jasmine?
Well, I'm looking at all things city council, and as we've been talking about, the first batch of votes has been tallied for these first rank results. Let's start with Ward 1 now. Aparna Raj taking an early lead with 46%, and then Miguel Trindade de Ramo behind her with a little over 20%. Over on the Republican side, Jet Jasper automatically wins because he's running uncontested. That's also the same situation for Ward 3 incumbent Matthew Fruman. There is no Republican challenger. And now let's go to Ward 5, where Zachary Parker, incumbent Zachary Parker, is way out in front right now with about 76.5% of the vote so far. Bernita Carmichael right behind him with 15.2%, a distant second, as you can see. When it comes to Republican Jeffrey Kian Palza, he is uncontested, so again winning outright. Now we go to Ward 6, where incumbent Charles Allen again out with a landslide, 74.6% of the vote, with Gloria Nodden at 18.5%. Republican George Rice is running uncontested. Now let's look at at-large seats. The first one, there is a special election to serve the rest of Kenyon McDuffie's term. He stepped down from the independent seat to run for mayor. Donnie Crawford, who you see right here, was appointed as interim in January, but she's currently losing to Alyssa Silverman. Silverman is out in front with nearly 55% of the vote versus Crawford's 24.9% of the vote. Another at-large seat was vacated by council member Anita Barnes. The field for the Democratic primary is very, very crowded, but as we can see, Oye Owalewa is in the lead with almost 34% of the vote. A distant second is Lisa Raymond with 15.3%. As for the Republican primary, Darrell Green is running uncontested. Josh?
And Jasmine, also of note, Democratic attorney